All right, back to the border crisis for a moment and our coverage of that. We've seen a number of members of Congress going to the border to see it for themselves here in recent weeks and months, including our next guest, the California Democrat, Mike Levin, who joins us. Congressman Levin's one of those Democrats who signed a letter urging President Biden to take action. And I believe you just wrapped up a tour there at the border, at a Border Patrol station, right? So why don't we, there's the letter, which I'm going to get to in a moment, that you sent to the President. But what did you see today?
Well, Connell, it's good to be with you, and I'm actually still here. I'm at the Campo Border Patrol Station in East County, San Diego, and first thing I want to say is a tremendous amount of credit is due to the men and women who serve in the Border Patrol. They are overwhelmed, and I saw that firsthand today. We went out to Jacumba, which is fairly close to here, maybe about a 15-minute ride from here, and we saw about 200 migrants who just arrived, presumably earlier this morning, and are here and are hoping that they will be able to connect with one of the NGOs that are serving the San Diego region. And it's just an untenable situation, unsustainable situation, and it is a crisis that we've got to deal with, not on a bipartisan basis, but on a nonpartisan basis. This is a matter of national security, and we cannot have a system, whether it's the immigration system writ large or specifically the asylum system, that's as broken as what I see today.
That brings us back to the letter. Okay, so let's put that back up on the screen that you guys sent to the President. So you're one of 15 Democrats writing to get what message across to the President from your own party?
Well, just that. This is unsustainable. And it is a matter of national security that President Biden or any president deals with the situation with the seriousness that is required. And we called on the president to take whatever executive action possible to try to address this, whether it's dealing with the many years that can go by to have an immigration claim adjudicated, so obviously the need for more immigration judges, or the need for more Border Patrol, for more agents and for more resources. Now, there was a positive development with the administration announcing this new executive action around those who don't pass background checks being immediately deported. Right. That's a positive step, but we need to see far more.
Sounds like, right, there you go. You don't think it's enough, as you just said, but also, what about the timing, that it's taken so long?
Well, you're right about that, and the timing of this new executive action will take time to make its way through the rulemaking process, the regulatory process. We need to help our Border Patrol right away. You know, one of the big things that we did with this new fiscal year 24 budget is provide enough funding for 22,000 Border Patrol. That's a significant increase over the roughly 16,500 they have today. That number hasn't gone up dramatically in a number of years, even though the number of interactions that Border Patrol has gone up dramatically. So my hope is also that it'll be easier to hire new Border Patrol agents. You know, right now it's very difficult to hire them. They compete with other federal law enforcement agencies to hire these folks. We've got to make it faster and easier for that to happen. And we're also running into a potential retirement cliff where a lot of Border Patrol are going to be retiring in the next 5 to 10 years. So we really have our work cut out for us. And the other thing I'll say, the ease with which people from all over the world are able to access TikTok or other social media and learn exactly what they need to do to come across. You know, the roughly 200 I saw today, I asked how many of these folks do you think found this route where there's a hole, a 3-mile hole in the fence through social media? The answer was over 90%.
Or what about, we're hearing rumblings today in Washington that Senate bill that failed might come back up. What do you think on the House side? I mean, I know you had 15 people sign this letter, but, you know, numbers-wise, do you have some convincing to do in your party? I mean, is there legislation that could be passed? What do you think of resurrecting that?
Well, we need to resurrect it. I will do whatever I can to convince any of my colleagues, and many of my colleagues who represent border communities and border regions, they already know the importance of this. Again, it's nonpartisan. It is a matter of national security. And far too many people on both sides of the aisle use the issue of immigration or border security as a wedge during an election year to score political points. That's just flat wrong. We've got to come together. We've got to try to fix this. Congress needs to get out of its own way and work together. I still believe we can do it. We came very close. Unfortunately, Mike Johnson wouldn't move forward when former President Trump told him to kill the deal. And that's a unbelievable shame, because the deal was the strongest thing we've seen in a long time. There was just so much misinformation out there about what that bill had in it. And I'm ready to get back to work. I know my colleagues are as well.
Yeah.